And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Korean Starcraft League, week number 22. I'm, of course, your host, ZvT, and with me, I'm joined by the beautiful, by the lovely people in the chat. Welcome. Welcome. It has been a full week since the last edition of this tournament, and this is going to be an interesting one because obviously over the course of the past couple of days and this weekend, Gamers 8 is ongoing. A major premiere event is currently taking place, and a lot of the big names are busy with that, which means KSL is up in the air. KSL is up for grabs for many of these other kind of up-and-coming players. And speaking of spawning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the South Korean Terran player representing. Last week it was Team CranKy. This time, the otakus all over the world. Let's go. Living in the land of Japan, it is HonMonO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of Taiwan, the Blue Zerg. Representing himself, it is Rex. Oh. Let us go with the dinosaur himself. Say that. He's not old. I'm not saying that. But yeah, Rex, it's been a while since we've had the luxury of casting him. I want to say he was here last week. For the past maybe couple of weeks, Rex has been making his return here to the competitive scene. It's great to have him back. It's beautiful. It's amazing. But in his absence, other players have been able to rise to the challenge. Players like HonMonO. I want to say these two players actually faced off a couple of weeks ago, and HonMonO did come out on top. And I do think that was a very impressive result out of HonMonO, especially considering the level of Rex's play at the time of stepping away, at the time of leaving Onside Gaming a year ago, or less than a year ago at this point. Oh my god. As the Reaper almost does get trapped, Reaper does get forced back. Rex able to hold on to his bases for now. Hatch gas pool, nothing too crazy out from Rex. Across the map, HonMonO going for a 3cc before Starport. A very economic opener here from HonMonO. We know all about HonMonO at this point. You know, he at times he likes to be HonMech at times. At other times he likes to be Hon Turtle as well. Does Turtle even on Biotank. Oh boy, more often than not he's kind of forced into that situation in a way after falling behind a little bit. From the beginning though, he likes to be a little bit more aggressive here with his bio, and there we go. It is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 opener from HonMonO, which means he will be working on his bio army. He's going to be moving out across the map. Once he does have his medevacs out, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple of minutes for that to happen, but until then, he's going to be active here with his Reapers and his Hellions. Oh, does almost lose that Reaper in the end, but does keep it alive. One shot away from going down, as so far nothing really out of the norm from the side of Rex either. Nothing quite out of the norm. Just going to be droning up, saturating his bases. And hello everyone in the chat. Shout out to Frost, Werehug, Ralvags as well, the hung one. Oh, you've heard about the little one. Welcome to the hung one. Oh no. As Hellions are going to be moving out, it's going to be meeting up with the initial Reaper as well, just to be active on the map. Back at home, HonMonO just working on his starport. We do have the Overlord diving in for a scout. Rex from behind should be getting a full scout off the main base. There we go. Does confirm the timing of that third CC. Does confirm that the starport is still on the way. And with the timing of that starport, he should be aware of the 2-1-1. Cool. So at this point, he's going to be able to get ready back at home. He's going to be able to drone up for a couple of seconds. I say seconds, for a decent while here. He's going to be able to drone, get a fourth base, start up his lair, and actually he's going to opt to delay his lair. He's going for double Evo chambers instead. So Rex being quite greedy here. I do appreciate it. Quite a greedy move to just delay that tech to go into faster upgrades. And this, of course, will delay bailing speed, which could be a risky thing to do as he gets his fourth base. But these are corners you can cut when you realize how economic your opponent is being. Again, HonMonO, because of this opener, because of the fast third, because of the 2-1-1 as well, like, he does give his opponent a lot of breathing room, and Rex is properly taking advantage of that room that he's been given. So far, does make plenty of sense, is just, yeah, going for all the right calls here on his own side of the map. There is that lair finally on the way, and momentarily we should be seeing that Baneling Nest as well. So the Baneling Nest ideally finishes in time with the lair, and then we can start Baneling speed as soon as possible. There we go, Baneling Nest is on the way. At this point, HonMonO should be looking to be out. Yeah, there we go. I was like, where's the double jump? It is now across the map. Going to be cleaning up a lot of this creep. It does feel like this double jump is a little bit more delayed than it usually is. Regardless. No, yeah, no, 6 minutes. That sounds about right. 6 minutes here for the 2-on-1 3CC. Is forced back for now, but he did get a lot of creep. As I say, that creep is being regrown, replaced. Yeah, creep is being replaced here by the Queens of Rex. So not too many losses here. Just going to be slowing down the creep on the right hand side. But more than anything, Rex, he's actually establishing himself quite nicely here on his side of the map. Oh my god, as he is rushing into an infestation pit. Let's go. Something we don't see often enough. So it looks like Rex, he plans to go Ling Bane straight into Hive. Ideally, Ling Bane straight into Ultras. Oh boy. So this is going to be a big delay on any kind of anti-air, things like a Spire for Mutas or the Hydroden for Hydralisks. Rex should be avoiding these tech paths here in favor of a faster Hive, and this can be a really risky thing to do. It does mean that drop play from HonMonO is going to be that much more effective because there's that much less anti-air to deal with it. But until then, HonMonO is just focusing on these frontal pushes instead. He's got Hellbats, he's got plenty of Widow Mines as well. I believe Rex should have enough to deal with this as he's getting ready with his Banelings, and ooh, his Lings are setting up for a surround or even a counterattack. Here we go, the wall is a wall, but the third base is looking very exposed. The fourth base is going to be focused down and cancelled. HonMonO, he brings everything back. And that cancel on the fourth is enough damage. HonMonO again just forced over towards the left hand side, creep being respread. The mines have been left behind, so I'm a little bit concerned that HonMonO's push is going to be that much less effective now that he has less to support his army. Behind this, no, sorry, we do have a Hydroden, so we are taking up into the Hive, obviously, as we mentioned earlier, but we did still get some anti-air. Hydroden has been thrown down, so this isn't going to be Ling Bane into Ultras. This is looking like Ling Bane into maybe fast Vipers. This could also be for a fast Lurker Den. Oh my god! As the Bailey's rolling in, they get some pretty decent connections onto the Hellbats, onto the Marines as well. We do still have a mine shot. Oh! Mine, it does not go off. HonMonO is getting cleaned up. At the same time, a Ling counterattack is going to run into reinforcements. HonMonO shouldn't lose too much here. As I say that, my god, these upgraded Lings, they do quite a bit of damage here. Almost forcing some friendly fire from those Widow Mines. And here we go. The Hive has now kicked in. Rex finding the freedom, the breathing room here. Oh, good target firing on those Banelings. Finding the room to start taking up even further. There we go. The Vipers are now on the way. And I think this is a really powerful move. Like with these fast Vipers, we can start kind of breaking these entrenched positions here. We can use that Blinding Cloud to our advantage. There aren't too many tanks, to be fair, but again, Vipers, they do just add so much more complexity to the army of the Zerg. As those mines were still left behind. They're still there, Papi. They're still there. Are they going to come into play? We'll see as double jump comes in from left hand side. Does get a nice snipe on two of those queens. Very nicely done. Thankfully for HonMonO, Hydra speed still isn't done, so the Hydras are barely not able to catch this Medivacs. They barely will escape. HonMonO getting his fourth base up on location. There's that Lurker Den that we were talking about. This does feel late, though. I do think that we had the resources earlier to get a faster Lurker Den and even get faster Adrenal Glands as well. But at least we have Vipers. At least we're making use of this army in some way. Sorry, this tech in some way. as these mines still haven't gone off. They've been left on creep the entire time. They all have 0 kills. And is that gonna up? Is that gonna change? Oh my god. One pretty juicy connection. Outside of that though, the mines are gonna get cleaned up, and here we go. We're diving on to creep and the Marines. The spread was okay, but there's still just so much more on the ground. Rex has to be careful not to overextend. Oh no, he's fine. He's got more Banelings, Papi. He's got more Banelings. Focuses down the Medivacs as well. As Rex cleans up that army. Things are looking a little bit scary there, especially after taking those mines to the face. 2 mines will be able to reset and recharge. And a decent amount of creep was cleaned up, but for the most part, Rex's economy was left alone. That's a scary thing. Rex has been on 83 workers for quite some time now. He's been able to establish these bases, and throughout the entirety of this game, HonMonO, he hasn't been able to touch his economy. Oh, there's another massive mine goes off. Oh my god. Ducklings are going down. But Rex is pushing on forward. Once again, the mine shots. Oh, Jesus. Wait, where are the... Okay, I was about to say, where are the Vipers? The Vipers, they've been made for a while, but they haven't really shown themselves. They're here in the back line, and Vipers will definitely help in these situations. Lightning Clouds don't really affect Widow Mines, to be fair, but, you know, they're good nonetheless. As we end up getting the double powerbomb on the Liberator. Not the best use of the energy, but it's okay. Fun fact, powerbombs, they don't stack in damage, so throwing down 2 of them on 1 unit doesn't really do much, but at the same time, the Banelings, they do roll in once again. Beautiful connections here on the Bio Army. HonMonO getting cleaned up once again, and this time we have Lunkers. This time we have those Vipers. I believe they are regathering some of that energy. And they are just sucking on some Evo chambers. And Rex is looking to overwhelm HonMonO. There are only 2 lurkers, to be fair, but 2 lurkers may be all that Rex needs. Gee. As we even have a bunch of changelings here just to make things a little bit more awkward. Here we go. The lurkers are just pushing on forward. The Banelings are heading towards that mineral line. Up. Up. And they will get in. Lurkers just covering this area in between the bases. Oh no, the Vipers! No! 1 Viper does survive, thankfully. And there we go, those SCVs are going to get cleaned up. Lurkers in position. HonMonO trying to sneak out that gold base. But we're pulling boys into Lurkers. GG gets called, and Rex will take game number 1. GG, Rex getting his revenge. Oh, ay papi. Let me just double check. I'm really curious about the history. I'm gonna quickly double check the history between Rex and HonMonO, because I'm pretty sure I remember seeing them face off a couple of weeks ago. Oh. I do recall. Yep, there it is. So, fun fact, just for some context here, and I do feel like there's a story here. KSL number 15 was a while ago. The Korean Starcraft League number 15 was quite a number of weeks ago at this point. But we did cast it. We did cast Rex versus HonMonO back then, and HonMonO did 2-0 Rex at the time. But since then, it's been what, 6-7 weeks since number 15, and Rex clearly has been practicing. He clearly has been getting back in form, and he wants his revenge on this player here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresfan, we have the South Korean Terran player. Oh boy, living in the land of Japan, representing all of the otakus out there. It is HonMonO. Oh my. Oh my. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, getting proxy racks, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player representing himself. It's been a while since we have seen him, but it is the king. It is Rex. Getting proxy 3-raxed. As your first SCV, your second, and your third. No gases have been taken back at home. So HonMonO, this proxy, this cheese is very aggressive, very committed as well. And we'll see how Rex responds to this. We'll see if he can get a good read on what is going on. Ideally, HonMonO, he would be hiding. Just be hiding. Now, he'd be hiding one of his SCVs when he does go for those bunkers, as bunkers will be upon us momentarily as well, in conjunction with those Marines. But we'll see, because I've seen HonMonO be really ambitious before and just like dive up the ramp in between the bases and just go for some really ambitious bunker placements as well. But we'll see how HonMonO executes this, and we'll see how Rex responds, as he does go for a hatch gas pool. Very economic opener out of Rex. Here we go. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I did just notice that someone was trying to use the Maturino command. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Once this game does end. But here we go. The bunker is thrown down. The SCVs have been revealed as well. Rex is fully aware of the build of the 3-racks. And now it's going to be on him to defend. It looks like he is accepting, maybe even losing this base. We have the Roach Warren on the way alongside a Spine Crawler. And the bunker is going to finish up, so Rex is going to respect it. He's going to back off. The natural base may go down. Oh, we may even get some of these lings as well. Oh, as Rex does slip past the army. And that is going to be a sign for HonMonO to go into the main base. Again, like, it's a difficult dance to really play here for HonMonO. He needs to either kill this hatchery on the low ground or dive straight into the main and do even more damage, just because of how committed this is. Back at home, he does have a full wall off, thankfully. Roaches are on the way. Spine Crawler is here to cover that ramp alongside the Queen. Lings are going to force HonMonO back home. But he's already dealt the damage that he was looking for. Killing the hatchery, you know, that's kind of good enough. We do see a CC on the way. No factory yet from HonMonO, which is a really risky move. But now HonMonO needs to survive the follow-up here. Rex, he's got Ravagers, he has high ground vision with this Overlord across the map. He's going to be looking to push out and potentially kill HonMonO. HonMonO, he's leaving immediately. He's already salvaging that bunker. And we do have that factory on the way. And upon seeing the lack of bunker, Rex, he's not going across the map. Now, to be fair, Rex has to be careful. If he does move out, and if he didn't have eyes, now he does. Oh, as he actually maneuvers that Overlord out of position. Okay, does save it. And there we go. Marines have been revealed to these lings. Now Rex knows it is safe to move out across the map. Otherwise, he could have moved out, and the Marines could have just been hiding, just waiting a couple of seconds, and then going back in, and then Rex would just die. So just waiting for confirmation. As HonMonO is also waiting for that Ravager army. Up! Oof. Does focus on 2 of those Ravagers already. A good start for HonMonO. Meanwhile, Rex is going all in. He's got 12 lings on the way. I believe no ling speed. Yeah, no ling speed. Just Roaches, Ravagers, and slow lings. As HonMonO is reclaiming control of his natural. We already have our Cyclone. We have a tank on the way as well. HonMonO has, Rex has to be very careful here with how he approaches this, as he is expanding behind this and he is attempting to drone. But I would say that HonMonO is in a better position, especially when he does get that tank out. until then, bunker is on the way. Go does force a cancel. Is containing HonMonO to one base for the time being. But this is dangerous. Behind this HonMonO, he's got his 2-1-1 set up. He has a Banshee on the way. And there's very little anti-air. We have 2 queens, 1 for each base, no spores. We can't really afford to make any spores right now without good reason. So these Banshees, they don't just do well defensively against roaches, but they can also do so incredibly well offensively as well. We're not investing into Cloak, as we're working on a 3rd TC, and things are going to be settling down. We're gonna try and macro out of this. Oh. Alright. I'll use this opportunity to update the command. We'll update the commands. El Macherino. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Should be updated. Ha. As yeah, HonMonO, he's just turtling up back at home. He's working on his tanks. Eventually, he'll work on his 3rd base. Likewise, Rex did take a very fast 3rd hatchery before his natural was even done. Trying to catch up. Scan does confirm the lair that is on the way. I imagine this lair is just going to be for roach speed. There are options you can go for. Rex could try and go into a spire, but I'm not too sure if that's the wisest of moves. Especially against a bio-heavy composition, and HonMonO, he's already moving out across the map. Is spotted by the Lings of Rex. Did have plenty of spotter Lings out on the map. And Rex is getting ready back at home. Up! Ravagers morphed in. Roaches are on the way. This is going to be a tough moment here for Rex. He does bring his spine forward. And the Queens are brought forward as well, doing a decent amount of damage to that Banshee already. Tanks trying to get in position. How good are the piles? Not quite what they need to be. But there we go. The tanks are going to go down. This push is going to get cleaned up. HonMonO with a bit of an overextension here. Not really respecting those Ravagers, bunching up those tanks, and HonMonO kind of loses his advantage. I mean, he's getting a 3rd base, to be fair. Like, I would say that he's still ahead economically. But his army, his tank count was reset, and suddenly Rex has a lot of breathing room. From here, Rex, he can take a 4th base, he can get a macro hatch, he can just get fully saturated, take his gases. There's nothing really threatening Rex right now. And there we go. Gases are being taken. I believe he only has a single Evo chamber, but there we go. We have a 2nd Evo chamber on the way. Gases at the natural. There's that 4th base as well. Just Rex has the freedom to do so. Does have to be careful though. HonMonO, he's not resting on his laurels. He's moving out with this double drop. He could potentially force a cancel of this 4th. But no, HonMonO, he's just pushing through the center. Barely gets that 2nd tumor. And as he rotates around, he will get eyes on the morphing in hatchery. We can see Rex is already in position. And yeah, Rex, he's recovering quite nicely here. Losing a lot of creep, to be fair. But he's working on 1-1. We have Roach speed on the way. So Rex is going to be committing to a Roach-based composition. Not fully Roach Ravager. There's a Baleen Nest as well. So it looks like Ling Bane Roach Ravager is the composition of choice. Hive on the way very quickly as well. I wonder if this is going to be for Vipers again. This could just be Rex's current playstyle in this matchup. We saw last game, likewise, he also rushed into a fast Hive. Ooh. Good target firing coming out from HonMonO, sniping 2 of those Ravagers. He wants a 3rd. Up. Up, he wants it. He gets it. Even getting the 3rd Ravager as well. Very cheeky moves out of HonMonO. Very cheeky. cleaning up the creep here towards the south as well. Behind this, we've been focusing a lot on what Rex is getting away with, but HonMonO back at home, rebuilding his tank counts, working on his bio, 2-2 on the way. We're not going all in on 3 bases or anything like that, but no 4th yet, which is a little bit concerning. We should be seeing a 4th CC soon, maybe even behind this move out, as Rex has eyes on everything with that changeling. Does see the army, but HonMonO has done an amazing job of just keeping the creep at bay, really making this push that much more scary. Bailey's speed is still not done. Tanks are getting in position. Do we really want to waddle in like this? We tried to set up a surround, but we actually get some good connections with those Bailings. Surprising connections. Files do connect with the first tank. We can see HonMonO, he's not slowing down, he's not stopping. He's leapfrogging forward, and he is going to get this hatchery. But now we have bathing speed, and now Rex can clean up everything else. The tanks go down, the bio gets forced back. We do have some reinforcements. Rex is going to have to respect that. Oof. Once again, a good target firing coming out from HonMonO, as he's getting on top of some of the economy as well. Biles are going to try and slow down the bio, but the splits are looking good, and we are focusing down every single one of these Ravagers. It looks like there's too much Terran, there's too much HonMonO, as he has broken through. GG gets called. HonMonO forces the ace match. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We are going to game 3. GG. And really, that's what I wanted out of these two players. This is why we dove on this series to begin with. Rex and HonMonO. It's so juicy, so amazing, so beautiful. I'm also pleasantly surprised that we're getting a different shade of HonMonO. I say that just because recently I say recently, all year we've been casting a lot of HonMonO, and he has been known to just like be really defensive and really turtly. We've seen that a lot, you know, most recently in GPO last week against Oreo, for example. Even before that, against Moku famously. So yeah, it's really cool to see him being a little bit more active here against Rex and finding success. To be fair, I would also argue that in that game, Rex was kind of punished for taking up a little bit too quickly. His hive did finish, and he did have a Viper out as well, but he was still gathering up energy. Potentially, if he had waited for said Viper, he could have taken that fight. But again, that was also like a really big commitment there that didn't really pay off for our Zerg player, as he invested quite a lot of resources into that and didn't really make use of it. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself and all the otakus out there in the land of Japan. It is HonMonO. He's doing it again, by the way. 3 SCVs, 3 Raxes are spawning in the top left hand corner. We have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, the king of Taiwan. It is Rex. Here we go. I think one of my favorite things about previous years of ESL Masters is whenever we would cast Go Joy versus Rex, or even Beastork versus Rex as well. It would actually be Beastork versus Rex, that's it. It'd be the King versus the Kong. It's beautiful. As Beastork was the Kong from Hong Kong, if you do recall. So in those regionals, they would face off from time to time. And we would have the luxury of casting them, whether it's the B stream or even in the qualifiers. Here we are. A year later, and yeah, I mean, HonMonO, he found a lot of success with his Proxy 3 Rex in that last game. He was able to do enough damage, he was able to transition well enough as well. Now, the problem here is that we're on Neo Humanity. The rush distance is far shorter on this map, So when Rex eventually takes control of his side of the map, when he eventually counterattacks, he is going to hit that much harder. He is going to hit that much faster. As the bunker is thrown down, 3 SCVs are revealed. Rex immediately goes for his second gas, immediately goes for his roach warren as well. Rex, it is likely that he will lose his natural base once again. Oh, as HonMonO is being adventurous, he dives into the main. Very risky move here, but he's diving on top of the queen, forcing the boys to be pulled, punishing Rex for not throwing down the spine crawler. Second queen does come out. SCVs are going down. The Marines are getting surrounded. We're committing. Oh my, bit of an overextension from Rex as well to try to dive on that bunker. As Rex did lose 1 drone, but only a single worker here as he goes back to mining. His queen's trying to protect those, trying to protect the larva there, trying to protect those lings. Does dance with the Marines, and here we go. The roaches are now on the way. Hatchery will still go down because it's a proxy 3 racks. Again, this is the bare minimum amount of damage you want to do. Oh, even gets an overlord. Oh, that's actually a pretty big loss. That's pretty huge. As you can imagine, roaches are very supply inefficient, and Rex is heavily supply blocked. 2 overlords are on the way. I just noticed as well, okay, we do still have an overlord across the map for high ground vision. There is our transition CC is on the way, as well as the factory. But because that supply block, we can't make anything. There we go. We finally break out. At this point, it may even be worth droning, but no, there we go. We have links. We have links on the way. Rex is still going to counterattack. His goal is going to be to at least contain HonMonO and delay that natural for as long as he can. It's going to be difficult, but we're going for it. Because the Lings are moving out. Ravagers as well here over on the right hand side. HonMonO is getting ready back at home. We have a bunker on the high ground. And we have plenty of Marines. We have 16 Marines. My god. Exclamation mark Maturino. There we go. Beautiful. And Rex is still not droning, by the way. He's pulling out of gas. He's making nothing but lings. Rex is going to go all in. As opposed to the previous game, he's maybe hoping that HonMonO is a little bit too greedy. Oh no! As the Ravager does already go down, Biles will be connecting the wall. Oh god, it still stands strong. This is not looking good. Not looking good for Rex. He doesn't take down the depots. He's still rallying wings, trying to expand. Does he drone from this point? Yeah, there we go. He is now droning. But he invested so much into this army, and it hasn't really paid off. Upon losing the Overlord, he loses high ground vision, so he can't really threaten that wall. He can't threaten the tank. You can see Rex double expanding, taking his 3rd base. Meanwhile, HonMonO is just inching on closer. And with the arrival of this Banshee, Rex should get out of here. Oh. In the retreat, he's going to be losing maybe every one of the... Okay. I love this from Rex. He does split up his Ravagers. He's trying to save whatever he can. Oh, does connect. Oh my god, did connect with the Biles. But he will lose all of his Ravagers. No, the last Ravager. Get out of here. Not like this. Does go down. Back at home, Rex is just droning, getting his spores, working on his queens. But Rex is behind at this point. He's behind in the economy, he's behind in the army. Oof. And when it comes to the next big push from HonMonO, it's going to be that much more difficult for Rex to deal with the tanks even. If you remember in that last game, Rex, he was so on point with his Biles, cleaning up the first tank push. Alas, with all the Ravagers dying, it's going to be so expensive to replace them. Rex doesn't really have the gas for that right now. He needs his opponent to just somehow give him more time. As Rex is working on his lair. This time, Rex doesn't go for any Evo chambers, which makes a lot of sense. He can't really afford upgrades right now. So just kind of cutting corners and preserving his resources. There it is, double Evo chamber on the way. Oh. Before he can make use of them, we do have the double drop, the double drop out on the map. Overlord, it does go down. You can see HonMonO is getting ready for his push, cleaning up these rocks. As they are, the Marines are safely wedged in between these rocks as well. It's beautiful. Okay, it is going to be plus on range. So we are committing here to Roach Ravager. We have to. It's the tech we can work with. Meanwhile, the Banshees are being active, taking down some Creep Tumors. They could even threaten some of these Queens. Bearing in mind that there is no cloak on these Banshees, so they do have to be careful. Oh, interesting. Okay, thankfully we're still pushing. So HonMonO, he does have a 4th CC behind this, and I thought that he was just going to turtle up and just take his 4th, but no, he is still working on his push. We have one Ravager on the way. One Ravager. The army is moving out. It is now spotted by the Changeling. We need more Ravagers. We need more to deal with these tanks, and we just don't have the time. We don't have the breathing room here. HonMonO is already rocking up, knocking down the door at the 3rd base. Lings, they trickle on in. And the tanks, they just need to leapfrog forward here. Even without them, the base is going to go down. And HonMonO, he does cut Rex off from his own 4th base as well. Is going to force a cancel. Could even get a kill. As Rex dives on forward, he's going to try to save this. He does have a good amount of roaches now at this point, but there's just so much to support these tanks. One tank goes down, but only one. As HonMonO, he stims. He dives on top of the army. GG gets called, and HonMonO does it again. He takes down Rex 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to HonMonO. It was, what, 7 weeks ago at this point where HonMonO faced off against Rex in KSL. 2-0'd him that time, and here he takes him down 2-1 as well, off of the back of Proxy 3 Rexes. Really good executions out of HonMonO. Rex struggling quite a lot against them. I would say that game 1, Rex recovered. Game 1, Rex was able to stabilize in the end. But HonMonO was just so aggressive, so persistent with his pushes, with his drop play. He just overwhelmed Rex in the end. And again, I do think that Rex was maybe a little bit greedy in game 2 as well, taking up into Hive, if you recall. On Gressvan, he teched up into Hive, he was working on Vipers, and the push was already in his face. The push was already there at his front door, and yeah, just some greedy moves out of Rex. Was punished for it. GG, well played. And now HonMonO moves on to the next round, and we can take this moment to go over the bracket and to figure out where we want to go.